And here we are for the fifth and final round with Kinnan Stompy. On the play again, 5 for 5 on die rolls. That's pretty important in a Stompy deck. Let's see if we have a fair matchup this time. Someone who actually gets punished by this Winter Orb. Alright, let's see what we're actually working with here. So, only one land, which is a perfect combo with the Winter Orb, lol. So Bobble plus Draw Step is 2 more looks at lands. We could turn one Kinnan and just hope that's good. I don't know. This is loose. I guess I could Bobble. I can't Bobble myself first because then I can't fetch and cast Kinnan. So this is a bit of a mess. I am going to keep this though. It has Force Blue card and another plan. It's got the lock piece. It's got a redraw. I'm just going to Bobble myself, play Foothills, decide if I need to crack or not. If I do need to crack, then I can cast Kinnan. Oh, I'm playing against Kevin Jones, so he usually plays Dredge online. So that probably means we just lose, because this deck can't interact with Dredge in any way. But I have the Force of Will, which is clutch against Dredge. Let's see, do I Bobble myself here? Yes, okay, I'm doing it. Mox Amber is on top. Mox Amber is pretty dope because I get to Kinnan next turn. And then I can tap that for double mana. Does that even matter though? Like, if he actually is on Dredge, then I think I need to fetch this away. Yeah, like, because I'm going to force literally whatever spell goes on the stack first. That's how you play against Dredge with a blue deck. This is bad. Alright, I'm going to keep the Mox Amber. It is a mana source, and that's one of the many things my hand needs right now. First, maybe there's a world he's not playing Dredge, but yep, there it is. Lion's Eye Diamond. Ugh. There's a debate of force that or force the thing. Like, if he goes like breakthrough crack LED in response, I'm gonna be glad I held the force, but if he just plays like okay, so oh god, he had the Faithless Looting too. His hand was so good. Alright, so I'll let the Careful Study happen, and then I'll force the Faithless Looting. I'm not sure if it matters what order I do that in. I guess the one punish is if like he finds like Narcomoeba plus Cabal Therapy to strip the force before I get to do anything else. I guess waiting though I get to force the Ox, because he has a choice of Ox or looting here. Didn't hit a Cabal Therapy though, so we dodged that one. Alright, so unfortunately he has Icarate and gets to slow Dredge. No bridges have shown up yet. Okay, that's nice. Now I get to cast Kinnan, and it doesn't cost me my pedal. And once again, this Winter Orb, completely useless. We've played against 5 degenerate decks, in 5 games, or 5 matches. For what that's worth, I do think that it's a bad time to play fair in Legacy. I just believe that Veil of Summer pushes things into a place where you don't really want to be relying on Force of Will to win your matches against combo decks, like being some sort of like prison-y, stompy sort of thing. And once again, no interaction in this sideboard with the graveyard. A couple of Tormod scripts would go a long way in your Emery deck. I'm going to bring in the Plague Engineers because if I can get 2 of them in Name Zombie, that is a pretty strong lock against a lot of what they're trying to do. I'm going to bring in every counterspell because that's also important. Just hitting their first thing. Like if that Ox resolved, I probably would have died on turn 1 or shortly thereafter. Alright, that was kind of a brick. No bridge, no anything really. So we have a small window here if we draw a payoff like immediately. Oh, Uro can bust bridges. So this is actually interesting. Do I cast Uro or do I hold my horses? I could get Yorion into my hand. So I guess the question is getting the value off of this card versus destroying some number of bridge from below. Alright, I'm going to hold it to bust some bridges and put Yorion in my hand. Alright, another Icarid and an Archimedes, still no bridges. It's been pretty unlucky for him that he's missed so many bridges, but it also sucks for me because I slow rolled this Uro specifically to bust bridges. Alright, so I can attack. And then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can cast Yorion. What a weird game this has been. Alright, so now I have a 4-5. So I can block Icarids. Alright, hit 2 bridges this time. His hand is just 3 dredge creatures, so I know that nothing's coming out of there. I wonder if he'll even attack, because if I block with Kinnan, then that'll trade off with the bridges. Okay, that's a smart attack. So I'm not going to block this. It's basically take 2, or face extra zombies. I don't want to face extra zombies. I'm going to gain some life and nuke these bridges anyway, off the Uro. Alright, Mox Opal's a hot one. Alright, so 4-5, I can evoke Uro and then also stick Uro right now with the Lotus Petal. And then we've got to do this first. Blue, blue, green, green. Arrow's back. Goose is loose. Alright, so 2 Icarids, no other black cards in the graveyard. So the one Icarid could eat the other, but they can't both come back right now. So taking... If I attack with Yorion, I'm taking 6, 7. I'm going to 7. I gotta get this game over. Alright. Did eat the second Icarid with the first one. Took a draw. So what he wants is a mana source to bring out this Ox. Oh no. Drew Faithless Looting in that one shot to draw a card. Hit a Bridge and an Archimeeva, Hogak, several therapies. Okay, so can make a pretty sizable board here, including Hogak. Alright, my hand doesn't have any real cards in it, so go nuts. Alright, so 8/8 Trample is a pretty serious monster. I can't wait to board out Winter Orb for the 5th game in a row. So what am I even drawing towards here? I mean, like, Urza, I guess, is kind of exciting. So Kinnan. I can activate Kinnan, but Urza is a human, so I can't get him. I could hit Goose, or Goose, Emery, or Uro, basically, off of a Kinnan activation. Okay, I take 1 here. Alright, re-Kinnan. That actually does kill the bridge from below. So if I attack Uro, gets me to 16, but gaining 3 versus absorbing 8 is a very different calculation. Alright, so this Icarid is coming back. That's already done. I could gain 3 off this Goose. Or I could gain 6. I can make and then double mana, double mana. So I can go to 19. Attacking with this Kinnan is pretty close to free. I don't think he would block it. So 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 14, 22, 23, 24, 25. 28 damage coming through. If I go to 19, I have to block 9 damage. I have to block 10 damage to go to 1. So 1, 2, 8, 15, or 13. I'm just saying numbers at random at this point. So 8, 10. I think Yorion can attack. I hope Hogak doesn't have reach. I'm not going to lie, I don't know all the words on that card. Okay. Hit a Narcomoeba, that sucks. It's a blocker for Yorion. The only reasonable way I could clock them is in the air with Yorion. I don't think I can win this anyway. Like, I needed to attack with Kinnan last turn also to put them to 4, which Yorion can get through. But hitting the Narcomoeba for a flying blocker, and he already had 3 Narcomoebas in play, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so Kevin is not known for doing anything quickly, so we're just going to sit and wait. I'm going to pause the recording while he does all this combat math. Alright, it appears he figured out if he just turns his shit sideways, I lose. Okay, so that's 14, 22, 25, 26 coming through. I can move to blocks. So if Goose blocks zombie and Kinnan blocks zombie and Uro blocks zombie, that's still, I think this is still not enough. 1, 2, 3. I can't actually see how many there are here. I think it's 4. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. So I'm 2 damage short there. So Uro has to move. I think Uro has to go in front of Hogak, unfortunately. Okay, that's my block. Make a food. Eat a food. Eat a food. I am alive, but with like nothing on board. So I cleared his bridges. I'm sure none of this matters. All these Narcomoebas, these nice flying blockers. Alright, yeah, and I'm dead. Alright, so no sideboard to speak of. Guess I want these, every counterspell, and I probably want the Plague Engineers as well. Like, they can name zombie. There's a world where I can name zombie or, like, name illusion or whatever Narcomoeba is. I think it's an illusion. To make the way for a Yorion attack. It's funny that the first time Yorion appeared in this deck, in this league, was against Dredge. So Veil of Summer does stop Cabal Therapy, but that's all it stops. Uro is the secret MVP for the ability to nuke bridges. Emery, all of these being legends, also can kill bridges if I play a second copy of any of my legends. Chrome Mox can get shaped. Haven't liked that basically at all. Bobble's pretty slow. Amber. And Oko does very little in this matchup. It turns Hogak into an elk, but that's all it does. I really wish I was boarding in 4 Tormod scripts, but here we are. Just gonna have to play fair and square. Basically, when you're playing a blue deck against Dredge and you don't have a true lock piece like Rest in Peace or Leyline of the Void, or the ability to loop Tormod script, what you have to do is answer their bridges and then answer their board, usually in that order. So all the legends in the deck killing themselves is my answer to bridges. It's not great, but it's there. And then Plague Engineer is my answer to the board. So, and a lot of it depends on how the bridges, when the bridges show up in the opponent's dredge. So, like, if they get one turn where they hit like 3 bridges and then they're able to like Cabal Therapy and then end step an Icarid dies and they just have 6 2/2s out of nowhere, that's going to be really hard to come back from. But if they hit like 1 at a time and you can manage the board, they make like 1 or 2 zombies instead of 6. Like, that's a lot better. I'm going to keep this. It has several points of interaction. The other way that you can beat Dredge with blue when you don't have a real sideboard plan is if you get super lucky and they keep like a hand that isn't super explosive and you can counter their enabler and then they're just stuck. Oh no, he's done the exact opposite. He's on the slow Dredge, which is a complete nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. Because that dodges my plan of countering the enabler. Alright, so I can force, or I can use my Lotus Petal to rebuke. That's assuming there are any spells to counter. He also might have just been like pushing for a bigger turn 2 by making sure there was a Dredger in play first, or in the graveyard first. Alright, that does appear to be what's happening. Oh shit, I should have countered that, because now he can discard his hand, activate Cephaloid Coliseum. Yeah, I just bunted. Alright. Mistakes were made. Ooh, Oko in this deck. Alright, hit 1 Narcomoeba, 1 Bridge, no Cabal Therapy. That was actually a pretty abysmal Cephaloid Coliseum. Alright, now my plan is to deck him. Alright, I can't attack. Oh, there is 1 Icarid. Bummer. Yeah, I can't attack because that would just upgrade his 1/1 into 2/2s. Oh no, there's a Cabal Therapy. That's a bold attack with the Icarid. Let's see. Is there only 1 bridge in there? There is only 1 bridge. Okay, so I'm going to block to nuke the bridge. He gets a zombie off of it, but that takes away, like, it doesn't get a zombie if he Cabal Therapies me this turn. Alright, that's fine. I'm not going to try to counter this, because losing the Lotus Petal... Or I guess I wouldn't lose the Lotus Petal. That was pretty bad. I could just improvise the Lotus Petal. But he named something... He named Kinnan anyway. Got him. Alright, Kinnan's back. So he knows my hand now. 1, 2, 3. I could put Yorion in my hand and still hold up Metallic Rebuke. Or I could just wait a turn and play around Cabal Therapy. Right, 2 Icarids, no bridges currently, but there are 3 still in the deck with 25 cards, and he's got a Grave Troll to dredge. Wow, still hasn't hit another bridge. That means he can attack with impunity, though, because he doesn't have to worry about bridges dying. So let's see. So I could trade off with a zombie that removes a 2/2 from the board versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus having 9 mana next turn. All right, I'm going to take my beats here. If there was a bridge in the graveyard, I would have traded. So this is free, right? Like it could have just taken that, so it's free to activate, or free to fire it off. Alright, another opal. So 1, 2, 3. That's so nice. Astrolabe as a ramp spell. I can cast another Astrolabe from the graveyard. Oh, hit another Rebuke, that's so hot. Fire off Opal, keep the untapped one, obviously. Attack. Yorion's going to untap all these anyway. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yorion. I'm going to draw a bunch of cards. That was hot. How nice would it be, though, if I was actually, like, milling to a Tormod script? Like, you don't need even that many in the deck, because Emery will dig for them. Found a Hogak, a bridge, and a Cabal 2 bridges and a Cabal Therapy. Hogak. I can say Nogak to Hogak. Can I do both? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't do both. You just counter that the first time through, at least. This denies a bunch of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, can't counter it the second time through. And I can just F6 from here. He knows Force of Will's in my hand, so he's going to take that. Oh, he named Uro. Interesting. And I'm going to block. Gets 2 zombies off it. I can at least block the zombies with my ground creatures, I guess. It's all pretty bad, though. Like, there's no engineer explosives or anything in this deck. Alright, I'll fetch. I don't think the 1 life's going to matter. And I don't want to draw land here. Mox Amber is not really what we're looking for. So I guess it's time to activate Kinnan. Is this the world we live in? I believe this costs 7. Yeah, alright. Oh, and we missed, obviously, because ours is a human. And we are dead. To no surprise. Yeah, so this deck is clearly meant to dumpster fair decks. Like, I don't see how, like, a Maverick or, like, Delver, like, I guess Delver could Delver you always, but, like, I don't see how, like, Maverick or, like, Death and Taxes or, like, a Grixis Controller Miracles could really keep up with what this deck is doing at the speed it's doing it. But if you play against Epic Storm, Reanimator, and Dredge in your league, you're going to have a bad time. The sideboard, if I was going to play this deck again, which I'm not, I would change the Winter Orbs to Chalice of the Voids, or at least like supplement them with Chalice of the Voids. You probably lose Brainstorm and Goose if you take that route, or like you just have to think about the deck differently. The sideboard needs some Wilts, it needs some Tormod Scripts, so I would start there. I am unlikely to play this deck again. That was a complete ranching. But this was a lot of fun. Yorion, I'm glad in the final match against Dredge, it got to show up twice, and one of the times it actually did a sweet thing by blinking a bunch of Astrolabes and untapping my mana. So thanks for watching, and see you for the next thing.